Okay. Can you see me? Yes, okay, so we are live. Can you see me, Carlos? Sorry, guys, looks like we have technical difficulties again. Yes, okay, Richard, nice. Okay, so welcome, chat. I've done my introduction. We missed it. And I lost Carlos when I put like the broadcast stuff. So that's weird. Let me check it with him. Tag. Carlos, can you hear me? What the hell? Why? That's a shame. I need my I know Richard, like I can see him, I can hear him. I don't know if you hear him. Okay, let's go. I had to close it then he appeared. Can you hear? Talking to him on Discord quickly. That's gonna be a nice short, man. Sorry everyone. So that's the try with OBS. That's gonna be fun. Like if you have any recommendation about another more stable software, I will take that, man. Okay. Nice. Okay, let me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you know what? Do I need to upload the PFP again?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Let me figure that out.
Sorry about that. That's unexpected.
No, you're good.
Tag. Let me. I hope you're doing well, chat. I need Catalina Whales in the chat here. Like, yeah, hello, what's up? What's up, Paul? Hope you're doing good.
There we go, baby.
Here we go. Okay, give me nice. Okay, give me 10 seconds for you to appear on the chat. Should I put you here? Is that gonna work better? Okay, the fuck. Let's go. Come on. Why is that not pumping? That's so sad. Can you hear me? Can you see me on the on our own views?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
What's going on?
I'm trying like to put you on the stream because I'm the only one seeing you. So let me try it again. Tag. My God. Tac, et 1004. It should pop up. Why? I don't understand why it's not popping up. What the heck? Yeah, people are trying to. Why? Why? Like the whole window like should be here basically, but I don't know why I can't see you. Mute guest, copy link, copy views. Control audio. That should not change shit. Ah, I'm sorry about that, man. Did I? No, I don't have any frame. What the heck? Okay, why? Okay, I will Carlos, no, Carlo, tag. Let me try that. Okay, that's not that. Okay, I had you from the screen. Can you enable like the camera again and like turn that off? Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Keep it on for a minute.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. Not even working.
Does it show up when you put the camera on or no?
Not even like because it worked like just before we start the show, and now it's not working. I don't get it.
Weird.
Okay, so I have another. Okay, yes, it is. It's on. Okay.
Woohoo!
Nice. My God, I have no idea what happened. Okay, cool. I'm not touching anything. Chat, can you please confirm that everything is working? But I think we should be good to go now. Yes. Okay, I have the live, so I think we're good. Sorry about that, Carlo. That's so like shameful. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem at all, brother. I'm here. I'm ready to rock.
Okay, so chat everyone. So you missed the introduction, but thank you for every Catalina Whales holders that joined the chat. Thank you, Carlo, for joining us tonight. And yeah, I can't wait to talk to you because again, we chat on Twitter, and yeah, I wanted to know more again about what you have been cooking up the last few years, because yeah, I checked you minted 2 years ago, right? 1.5 years ago, and I want to come back to the OGs and to know more about the whole project, and yeah, know exactly what you're doing now.
Yeah, that's amazing, brother. Well, thanks for having me. I've been following what you guys have been setting up with Decod3rs, and I think it's a really cool concept. And I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to be able to chat. I think it's super fun what you guys are doing with decentralizing the whole Medium kind of content creation process and bringing your community into the process. So I'm a fan, and I'm happy to be here and talking, brother.
Thank you so much, man. And yeah, sorry for this technicality, tech issues.
Oh, bro, it's all good. Yeah, if you ask my community, I rug almost every spaces, so I'm right at home.
Let's go. So let's get it, man. Okay, so can you I know I've seen you thread about yourself on your Twitter that still pinned since again 2 years ago. But for the couple of Decod3rs that Decod3rs member that are not OGs like me, for example. Can you give us a quick summary about the Catalina project and even yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So I come from the world of music and entertainment. I've been a music manager and a entrepreneur in music and entertainment for the past 15 years. Before I got into Web3 full time, I founded a music management company called Indie Pop and a music distribution business called Independent Co. And we managed a lot of world-class artists, writers, producers. We created a music distribution company that handles distribution of music media for hundreds of artists. And through this process, I kind of I worked with a lot of creators, and around 16 or 17, I started getting into crypto personally.
Nice.
Started making early stage investments, making retail investments, trying to figure out where I could get in and provide value within the ecosystem. A lot of times, like, you know, working with founders in advisory roles when projects were trying to figure out, like, hey, how do I communicate my project to a non-crypto native user, or how do I like utilize media and entertainment to integrate that into the product that I'm building into Web3. And in those days, it was really early days for a lot of that stuff. There was very little usable products. But I stayed interested all throughout that process, and that led to a few years ago, I decided to partner with a couple other buddies that were crypto enthusiasts that it came from the entertainment world, and we started a principal-backed fund called Wave 7. And the idea with Wave 7 was to do essentially what we had been doing with artists, but to do it for founders building things in Web3. You know, you essentially, like, my whole career, I had been working with creatives who I believed in and trying to figure out what I need to do to put the pieces in place to make them successful. And if you just kind of replace artist with founder, that's essentially what we were doing. So I was able to, you know, to work with a lot of really interesting founders, building things that were exciting, and you know, doing what I could to be part of the team and contribute to what they were building. Through that process, I invested in a leading DEX on Solana, and you know, having come from you know, I'd been degenning on ETH and you know, this was summer 20 to like NFTs really exploding, and I made an investment. I made like a seed stage investment in this leading DEX on Solana, and that was my first time interacting with Solana. And I was like, man, I love how easy and inexpensive and fast this whole user experience is. And it started to get like the gears kind of turning in my head. I was able to imagine, you know, user experiences built on this technology infrastructure that could that could potentially like onboard the next 100 million people into Web3, right? Because we all talk about like where's the next 1, 10, 100 million people are going to come from. I believe it's going to come from great user experiences. I believe it's going to come from like being able to interact with apps that it's easy as it is to like buy something on Amazon. And when I interacted with Solana for the first time, I was like, hey, I could imagine this infrastructure powering that. So I got really bullish on the Solana ecosystem, and that's when we formed WAGMI Beach. And what we thought we would do with WAGMI Beach is we would essentially leverage our experience working with creators and working with creative kind of high IP at the highest levels, and we would develop strategies to kind of onboard this high level IP into Web3. And since then, you know, in the last year and a half, 2 years on Solana, a bunch of amazing creators have come into the space. But at that time, there was very little, right? So you were seeing like pretty much it kind of looked like Ordinals looks right now, right? There's like nothing but like random pixel art, and like, you know, it was very, very low IQ. And we were like, hey, I think there's an opportunity to really create strong communities and create strong IP in this ecosystem. So that's kind of how the Catalina Whales were born. We just started. We found an artist who was our friend, and we had the idea of like, we were like, you know, it's crazy. Being a whale is such an important part of crypto culture, right? Yeah. But there was no whale PFPs, and probably because like the whale face is kind of hard to nail it with art, and we were like, aspirational thing that you could be in crypto, right? You're either a whale or you're aspiring to be a whale, right? Yeah. So that's kind of like, so we started kicking around ideas for like what this collection and community and what the ethos of this brand would be. And you know, we're a little bit boomer, right? I'm like, my partner's in his 30s. I'm in my early 40s, and so we grew up on this Judd Apatow kind of broski humor, like Step Brothers, and so we were like, okay, we're sitting around one night thinking of ideas, and we're like, okay, the Catalina wine. Oh, dude, the Catalina fucking whale mixer, right? And it's just like, so we were like, let's combine this idea of like this aspirational idea of being a whale that everybody wants to be with this kind of bro-ish Judd Apatow style humor, which we could use as the foundation and which we felt like really aligned with like with crypto culture, right? And so we just started making these PFPs and tying in like the attributes to like kind of like pieces of pop culture that we were interested in. We started making these video clips from our favorite movies, and really what our vision was and still is to this day is like, how do we create essentially the foundation for a piece of entertainment IP, right? Mm-hmm. Attract a community of people that are like that want to buy into this, and then work collaboratively with that community to expand the IP into both traditional and Web3 verticals. So music, film, television, live events, merchandise, metaverse integrations, and how do we sort of rethink the relationship between the creator of an IP and the people who love it? Because what I like is one of the things that makes Web3 really special, right? Is being able to be an active participant instead of a consumer, right? And I had been in entertainment for all these years, and all we do is we sell things to people. We're like, we're going to make something that somebody likes, and it's going to touch their emotions in some way, and they're going to give us money for it, right? But what's special about Web3 is it's a two-way relationship where it's like, one side may pay for something, one side may create something, but then as it develops, it's a two-way relationship where the community is deciding the direction something goes creatively. The community is able to monetize their fandom and able to realize and extract value from believing in something and supporting something early. And that whole concept was and is like really powerful to me. So what I wanted to do with this group was essentially prove to the entertainment business that that this can be a sustainable model, and that and that fans and believers of an IP can be active contributors and be as important in the creation of something as the person who originally came up with the original idea. And that's sort of how the Catalina Whale Mixer was born.
Oh, and that's pretty cool. Like because like again, like you mentioned it, like you're coming from the music industry before, and that's what you want to do with like this Web3 project, and that's the perfect founders market fit, right? Like that if someone can pull that off, that's basically you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is like the devil's in the details with this stuff, right? It's like you can say you're going to create like a new Gorillaz and you're going to do this, but you can't just have an idea. You have to also be able to deliver on being competitive in the traditional space, right? So if I want to make a music group that like revolutionizes, the relationship between a music group and Web3, at the foundation, I have to be able to create a successful music group, and most people can't do that. It's really hard. And so, yeah, I think it's really important. And I think that's why we've seen this stuff fail in the past, is because it's just without being able to create hit records and being able to create great music that just the normal Web0 person's going to love, then it's just a gimmick and it doesn't work, right?
Yeah, 100%. And like everyone is like saying, yeah, it's an IP project, blah blah blah. Like, what does that mean for you exactly?
Well, I think that's kind of become this thing that people just say. There was like a moment where it was like, hey, they're IP projects, they're brand projects, and
yeah,
I think again, where we wanted to be different is, we created this project in the era of like Bored Apes first blowing up, right? And they sort of revolutionized the idea of transferring ownership of your IP to the owner of the NFT. And we really liked that, and we've seen a few interesting examples with the apes. But what we found is owning your IP is only valuable if you know what to do with it. Most people don't,
Yeah.
because most people don't come from the world of exploiting IP, right? So what we wanted to do is we wanted to not only give holders the rights to their IP, we also wanted to create lucrative licensing opportunities, right? So this partnership that we did with Def Jam, this is the first one.
Yes.
But the idea is for this to keep on happening, right? So the idea is, so this is the thing, right? A lot of people talk about rev share. The problem that I have with rev share is even if you a project, you know, the IP in the music project makes $10 million in a year, you divide that between 5,000 people and it's not very meaningful, right?
Yeah.
So I actually don't think that rev share divided by thousands of people is that meaningful unless you're creating like $1 billion unicorn business, which usually is not what happens. So I think the best way to like provide meaningful value to people is you want for this kind of gamified experience that you create to become so popular that there's all this demand and buy pressure and the floor price goes up, and then B, you want these individual holders who kind of play the game and win the game to be able to individually license their IP, and that individual who is part of this smaller group that went through this gamified process now is treated like you're essentially a member of the group, right? If you have the NFT that represents a place in the whales, you're essentially like, there's no difference from you being a member of that group. Now, the only thing is you're not responsible for making the music. We got writers and producers making the music, but you're part of the decision making. You're making some of the money. When we get an advance for the group, you get an advance. You know, so we felt that was a more meaningful way to do this, and what we hope is to prove this concept and then be able to do it over and over again with merchandise, with film, television, with et cetera, and expand into different verticals.
I know that's pretty cool. And like, okay, so basically you want to do Gorillaz, like that's the example I have in mind, right? With like your whales, right? And like your collection.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a good example is I think probably the best example is the Gorillaz. I think there's other examples, you know, like might look at like a marshmallow or something, even though the marshmallow has a real person that shows up to the show. But I do think he's a good example of how he built you know, an animated character and merchandised an animated character. Those are probably like the two closest references. So essentially a community incubated, community owned Gorillaz.
Yeah. That's so cool, like the idea. And again, like this model already proved to work in like Web0 and Web2 industry, right? Because like it's already been done, like the core essence of it has already been done. Like the same thing for Decod3rs, like there is a shit ton of YouTube channel, right? So like the business model of being a content creator works, but by adding like the Web3 layers into it, that's make it like 10 times better. And for you, it's the same thing, right? Like you create your industry group, like musical group, etc., like the band, and you had like a Web3 layer to it, and that must work. Like there is no reason why it can't work, because it's even like it's an improvement of what already exists, right? And I think that's the best way like to enter like Web3, the Web3 ecosystem, and like try to do something. Oh, did I lost you again? No, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's just like, and I think just like you said, and I think it's the same as you guys are doing with Decod3rs, right? It's like take something that already works, right? We're already adding a layer of innovation by bringing on the digital collectibles and Web3 community incubated element. I think it's a lot harder when you're also trying to prove a business model that's never been done before.
Exactly.
So I think you're absolutely right with what you're doing and with what we're doing. We're taking something that does work. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to make a successful group, right? I have to. That's on me and on the creative side. And in order to make a determination on whether you think that I'm capable of doing that or not, you know, there's never any guarantees. But I think what you can look at is you can look at like my history, and you can look at like my partner's history and how we have done it in the traditional space. So, you know, no guarantees.
Yeah.
I think just like with anything else, you could look at someone's track record and you can say, okay, well, they've done it a couple times in the traditional space. Now they're trying to recreate it in the Web3 space.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it honestly, like, I could have paid like to see you in the room with like Def Jam Records to sign like that deal. Like, how do you came to it? Like, came like to the discussion with them and like pitching them like the way of like, yeah, guys, you know, we have an NFT collection, blah blah blah. Let's do it. That's gonna be dope. Like, do you have any like cool stories about that like process?
Yeah, so I have a partner that I work with who still
Nice.
runs our music companies, and his name is Ben.
Okay.
So I have two partners, Ben and Josh, who I've been partners with for about 15 years now. And we started the music businesses together. And then when I said I wanted to go like full crazy town Web3, they supported me on that. They said, hey, you go do that. We're still gonna be partners and everything. We're gonna hold down the music business, and you go like into this new frontier and do what you're gonna do over here. And so when it
Okay, I think it's an internet connection. Can you hear me?
you still here? Yeah, did I cut out for a minute? You still hear me okay?
Yeah, I don't like I can see like your internet connection status and it's full red now, so I don't know if it's good or not, but yeah, no, it's fine. Like you're back live.
Okay. I told you, Vince. I rug every spaces, so you don't have to feel bad about it.
That's not joke, man.
I wasn't kidding, brother. Yo, ask the whales in the chat, man. If I'm kidding, I do. Yeah. So anyway, so my partner Ben has been he's still full time in the music industry, and you know, we've done deals with all of the major labels in the past, and we've had relationships with them. And so we just went out and started talking to people, and we said, hey guys, this is what we're about to do. We're gonna make some smash records. We're gonna work with all the biggest writers and producers. We're gonna make a group like the Gorillaz, and we're gonna like take this to the top of the top 40 charts. We're gonna make a touring group. We're gonna tour it live. We're gonna tour it in the Metaverse. And we're gonna do this in collaboration with our community, and we're gonna do something that's like never been done before. I think that and we walked into a lot of rooms, and people were like, "Wait, you guys have no music, no artists. You just have a bunch of pictures of cartoon whales."
Makes sense. Let's go.
Yeah, and so we probably had 10 different meetings of people who are our peers that were like, guys, I love you guys, dude, but like, why don't you make some fucking music and then fucking talk to me?
Yeah.
And the thing is, we didn't want to make the music first because we wanted the community to be part of this collaborate and be part of the process and part of the decision making. So so we kept on talking to people, and finally we talked to our friend DJ and Ryan at Def Jam, and they were DJing out at the time. They were just getting into Solana. They were into ETH NFTs, and they were just starting to get their DJing on. And so I think we hit them at a good time because they were like, "Oh fuck yeah, let's do this." And we were like, and I think that they had they had confidence in us because we had worked together before on the music side of things. And I think I hit them. I think we called them at a good time where they were excited about NFTs. We just announced this deal last month.
Yeah.
But it was 6 months in the making.
Awesome.
And we really, and it takes a long time with these legacy companies. And I think we're really lucky that we pretty much had like the top level deal terms in the bag before like the whole FTX, like all that shit happened, because a lot of these big companies got really scared. But we were already like so far down the line with these guys that they're like, nah, I told you guys, they were like, we told you guys we're going to do this, we're going to do this. But I think if I would have had to open up that conversation now, it would have been pretty hard to get it done.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I can imagine like pitching like I don't know if like that jam or like in suit and stuff, but like at that corporate level, and then explaining with you want to do a group with like from an NFT collection when the market is done like 90%. Yeah, like that could be tricky conversation for sure.
Yeah, and it's funny because like everything moves so fast in Web3, and then everything with like the major entertainment companies moves so slow. So it's like it's the opposite sides of the spectrum. yeah, it was tough for us because like we wanted, we could have put out independent music and worked with an independent label or an independent distribution company.
Mm-hmm.
And we could have started putting out music a long time ago. And we thought about it, but we were like, you know what? We want to do this with like a world-class partner. We want to do this on the same level that like, the biggest pop artists that you could think of. We want to have those same resources. And that meant having I've done a lot of independent music. I own an independent music distribution company.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think to penetrate pop music, like at the highest level, you could get to a certain place, but like, it's important to have these big resources to be able to like, to be able to really penetrate radio, penetrate TikTok. And it's also important to have a budget. And like a lot of what comes along with these deals is you get access to a marketing budget, you get access to a promotions budget, and great music and great content is the most important thing, but then enhancing that with like the right partner and the right budget is really important. So we made the decision to wait a long time, and it was really painful because it was like a whole lifetime in Web3 years.
No, 100%. And like, what did you do, like, to tell like your orders, like during that 6 months contract, like business closure and stuff, like to maintain like the hype around your project and for people to, but like the NFT guys, like to not lose, like still believe in you, right?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be honest, Vince. You know what? Like, I don't think I did a great job. I think that I think we lost a lot of our momentum during that period when I was trying to get the deal done. I thought it was going to come out. It didn't come out, and it was tricky for me. I think I learned a lot during that experience, and now we're coming back and we're utilizing like what we've learned. But I think that down period where we knew that this deal was in the bag. We wanted to announce it, but we weren't able to announce it and really move forward with delivering on this thing. I think that hurt our momentum a lot. And I really felt like we just are starting to get the momentum back now that we were able to make that announcement. But it was really tricky during that period, figuring out how to keep the hype going. And I think what I learned during that period is when times are hard and the market's rough and your floor price is down and people are flooding, I think that this is something that I was actually just DMing with Frank about the other day, is because I learned a lot from watching him, is I think when times are tough, that's when you have to be the most visible and you have to be the most available to your community. And I think a lot of times during that period, I wasn't sure what to say. So like I wasn't as loud and as in your face. Because it's hard to be like a whale that's like, making jokes and being funny and doing all this stuff when like the crypto market's crashing and like you're kind of like you kind of feel like you should be more serious, but like being serious wasn't really our brand. And so it was hard to figure out that balance. But I think that it was actually, I'm really kind of glad that it happened though, because through that period I think we learned so much about like, or I learned so much about like what it really means to like have like kind of a two-way relationship with the community. And I don't think I would have, if things would have been good the whole time, I don't think I would have learned that. I think I had to go through that by like times being bad is it kind of made me learn about like, how to operate transparently and how to have this two-way communication with the community.
Oh, that's cool. Like you know what they say, right? Like hard time makes strong man, right?
Yeah, it's true. Exactly. They say that they say hard times make chads. Chads make virgins. Virgins make hard times.
that's the whole the whole sentence. But we can just take the part that we want, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And like, do you have any ETA like for the first record like to come out?
So I don't have any. So the other thing that I've learned from this Web3 experience is never say dates. That's one thing that I've learned. But I will say that what I'm going to start doing as soon as later this week,
Ooh,
or maybe early next week,
nice.
is I'm going to start releasing content, which is in the studio content for
Nice.
the creation of the music, so people can start hearing little snippets of the music, start to kind of like give their feedback and decisions on which direction we go. Like I want it to be like kind of like a choose your own adventure, where it could be like, hey, we got
Yeah, okay.
this hook and this hook, this idea or this idea. Like, guys, which way do we want to go? Like, who should we put on this record? Like, do we need a rapper on this thing? Do we need a singer on this thing? And like, I want the Whales to kind of decide where this becomes. And so I've over the last like 2-3 weeks, I've been getting a bunch of footage in the studio, and I'm going to start releasing that every week. So music,
That's
I don't want
cool.
to say a date because I want to get it perfect, but like insight into the music and the creative process is going to happen like any day now.
Nice, that's cool. And like, how long do you need to make a record, like in your like independent studios, like even like with like a big studio like Def Jam?
Well, the good thing is about making the music is kind of contrary to like what like I think how it used to be in the olden days. Like us and our team are really responsible for making the music, so we can make it as fast as we can. They
That's
just
cool.
pay for it, so they pay for the studio time, and then once we deliver it to them, they market it. And then what they do also help us with is like they help us with like getting in with writers and producers, but like really, we don't need to like wait on them to make a record. That's all on us. So really, the only thing that's limiting us is how quickly can we make a great fucking record, like a smash fucking banger. And that is, you know,
it's art. You never know, right?
Exactly, bro. Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Is there's a little bit of science, but it's mostly art. And so all I can do is get us in the rooms with the right people, tell them what the vibe of this thing is, and hope that magic is being made. I will say though, I've got 2 demos back that I'm going to share a little clips with the community soon, and I feel very happy about how they sound. I feel really inspired about what's happening so far.
Yeah, nice.
So
nice. I go for it.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I was gonna say sometimes like this is the thing, right? Sometimes you make a record and it only takes a couple hours, and sometimes it takes like a year. We're not taking a year, but you know, like our first hit we ever made was that record Like a G6. And I remember we went in the studio, and I swear it took like 2 hours to produce that record. It was really simple.
Oh, I think I lost the audio too. Like, that was simple. Yeah, okay. Yes, lost the internet connection again. Oh, okay, I completely lost you. That's sad. Yeah, so Solconch, I will ask the question as soon as he is back. Man, like, like Carlo is he's working like hard time. I can imagine like the spaces with Catalina that where is always like disconnected like that. That's so sad, man. Let me DM him again. Lost you, bro. That's so sad, VP. Yeah, you're right. So sad. Dang. So, like, is there any of you, like, from the Decod3rs community that are not holding a whale yet and are, like, interesting, like, to buy to sweep a little? Okay, so he's not even answered to me, so I think it's completely off. I can see the headline on Twitter are rigging. Oh, are you here?
There we go.
Nice. Okay. Let me. Okay, so I think
catching up in the comments now.
No problem. Can you still hear him, chat? I think because the mic is working, so it should be fine. We can see you, but I can probably try to. Okay, the camera is definitely a problem, and I don't know why it's not reloading. Okay, I lost you again. I had it from like the stream. Can you react, like pop up the camera again? Like did the same thing that before? I had you from the stream, but like it should reload like the whole stream stuff. Okay, cool. Okay, put back the image, the avatar. That should work. Nice. Okay, let's. Yes. Okay, that do the trick. Cool. Okay, so you're back live.
Live and direct, baby.
Yeah. Okay. So where were you? Okay. So yeah, we create a banger, and yeah, how long it take? It can take a year, but you're not taking a year, so it's fine. And it's art. It's all about art. I have a question from chat. When Dialect Sticker Pack?
Yeah. So did they not open it yet? Did they not come out yet? Yeah, I guess they're not out yet. I gotta check with Dialect. I hope they come out soon though. We definitely released the pack. We released the pack. I just don't think you could access the actual stickers yet.
Okay, so it's coming. Solcon, yeah, it's coming. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's coming. soon.
Soon. And, yeah, exactly.
And less than a year.
Less than a year. Yes, that's the only date that we give. Less than a year.
Exactly. Okay, so yeah, let's just recapitulate. Okay, so if I buy a Whales right now, so I have a chance to be part of the band, right? Like, oh yeah, no, okay, another question, better question ever. Okay, so yeah, making a song and making a hit, it's hard. Like it's a science. Like you know better than anyone else on our chat right now how to make a song, but you want to make it like a community made. Like you want people to give their like feedback about what you are building. How do you manage like feedback from someone who know fucking nothing about music, and your own taste and your own like art you want to build, like things like that, yeah, how do you do that?
Yeah, I mean, good question. I mean, so one, I trust my team and my own opinion when it comes to great music, but I also think that knowing a great song is something that's universal, right? And I think I know like when a song affects us emotionally, and so I think everybody's feedback on that is important. And I also think that like I think that the direction that this band goes in creatively and what it kind of represents and the meaning behind it, I think that's like you know, I might trust my own opinion on like you know what drum sound to use and what melody, but I think that like the creative direction and like the meaning behind the group and like the direction that the lyrics go and the kind of aspirational feeling that you get from the lyrics in the song, I think that the Whales, this is their group and they should decide the direction that it goes. And I trust the Whales community to make decisions on that. And I think that comes from your heart, you know? I think that comes from caring about something. So I think to answer your question, some decisions I'm going to trust myself on when it comes to like, you know, do I think that this kind of chord progression is going to like, you know, hit the hardest at pop radio? But when it comes to like, what direction do we take this group and what's like the creative feeling behind this group? I think that's for all the Whales to decide together.
Okay, so like they're not going like to tell you, okay, put more drums at like a minute 3, but like a minute like the first minute, but like they will like bring their like vision of the group, and like then you will have to execute on it, right?
Exactly, man. It's like the vision of like how this group makes you feel and inspires you, you know?
No, 100%. And like what makes a great song? How do you make a hit?
How do you make a hit? Good question. I mean, I think that you have to create big melodies, and then you have to create lyrics that people want to like, at least lyrics in the hook that people want to sing along to. And that is, I think, the secret. And then I think you also, it doesn't hurt to, once you can do those two things, then you get big names attached to it. So big featured artists attached to the song that gives you a chance of like, you know, this is the thing. If you just have big artists attached, but you don't have the former, you don't have a hit record.
Yeah.
you can't, and if you just have the former and you have nobody knows anybody, you can have a hit record, but it's hard to get from 0 to 20. So having the big names attached helps you get from 0 to 20 and have people hear it initially. So I think those are the things: big melody, sing along lyrics, and featured artists that people know and love.
Yeah, no, I like basically like everything is a community almost, like not everyone, but like a lot of people can write a banger and sing like something that will be like sell like record, etc., and like bring people to concert. But like, yeah, probably having like both at the same time in the same mood, it's that where the magic like operate, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's cool. Like music, it's nice because like, you know, it's a science behind it. Like there is like math, melody, and etc. It's fascinating. I have zero knowledge about everything, but like I can say like there's like the again, like the recipe that when you analyze like the biggest hit of all times, there is like some common like denominators into it, and that's cool. It's nice. It's interesting.
Yeah, you know, I have a friend that I've worked with who's an executive producer and who runs a publishing company and a label. And he's really great at the science of making music. Like he'll listen to it and he's kind of doing math on kind of figuring out like the melodies and the chord progressions that like, you know, and how each of those kind of make you feel. And, you know, some people say that he's like a little bit contrived in the music that he makes. He's probably made like 20 smash #1 records. Some of them are kind of cheesy. Like some of them are like Flow Rider records and like those records that like, you're like, oh, this artist really sucks, but like the song, I can't help singing along to it. But it's because he's like so good at the science. You know, some people don't like him for it because they feel like he's sort of extracted some of the art away from this stuff and is just making these cool long songs. But I gotta say, when I sit with him and I see him do the math behind how you create these songs, it is an important part of it. Like, you know, it's like it is art. So it's art in the sense that some people feel it naturally, but you also can like you can recreate it with math sometimes also.
That's pretty cool. That's the beauty of it, right? And like, is that ever easier to detect like a shitty music, like a shitty song?
Yeah, you know what? I think everybody knows what a shitty song is. I think we all know that. You don't have to be a music executive to know that. I think that like when there's a great song, sometimes there's a song that you love, but maybe the whole world won't love. But it touches something with you. Like I sometimes have these kind of folky guitar songs that are like it touches something emotionally in me, but I don't know if it's gonna like hit to like so you sometimes to a certain degree have to separate your own what you like yourself from what you think may work in the marketplace, or work at like a certain radio format, or work on certain Spotify playlists. You know, I'm kind of a boomer, so like I gotta be like, all right, this might work for a boomer, but like you know, like our kid's gonna be feeling this shit. So sometimes I gotta play it for my younger friends, you know?
To make sure the room is like reacting accordingly. Like when they start to shaking their heads, it's a good sign.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I was thinking about it and like noticed that like for me it's like when the melody is like kind of like you feel it's like rounding, like the melody is like, I don't know, it's weird to describe, but like going in cycle, like when you picture the song in your head, like the music in your head, like it's kind of like a valse, like a dancing in cycle. That's what I'm the most sensible into it. I don't know if it makes sense, but like I just like feel the music is turning around, like you know it, and I love that the most.
When it makes you feel something, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, like and that's why, music and art in general, like it's like really personal, right? Like you can get emotion when you go to the museum, and like yeah, being in front of like a painting and like completely attuned to any like emotion from a sculpture or something like that, and something for music. Now it's a fascinating industry. Man, what's happening tonight? That's why am I losing you? Oh, you here? Okay, so yeah, you're rigging for real, man. Can you hear me? No, you can. No, I can hear you, bro. AD music. No, yeah, it's not every like AD music, but like it works on me too. Like all of the ASMR stuff and stuff. Like it's cool. I think Carlo, like, can you hear me, Carlo? Like it's not working for me. I can hear you. So yeah, refresh. That's fine. Okay, so Carlo is out again. Is coming back. Yes. Okay. Let's try.
There we go.
Yes, okay, the mic is on and let's do it again with like the pictures. Can you reset the camera? Okay. And I will display you back on the stream when your PFP is back. Cool. Let's try. Nice, perfect. Okay, so we know it works now. Chat, can you confirm that everything is working? But yeah, like we can continue. Okay, so the song, like we know how to make a great hit. No, that's perfect. So yeah, okay, let's go back to the NFT itself. Like, so if I buy a whale today, like, how does that works for my whale to be part of the group?
Yeah, good question. So essentially what we're doing right now is we're going to be announcing trait packs, right?
Okay.
And essentially the trait packs you're going to be able to upgrade your whale. So certain attributes on your whale are going to be tradable, including hats, glasses, and clothing, right? And
Okay.
essentially you can buy these trait packs, you can upgrade your whale, and there's going to be certain golden egg attributes
Nice.
that if you get these attributes, you can essentially build a whale.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Okay, now it's back. It's back. It's back. You're still here.
So three main members of the group, three bandmates, a guitar player, a drummer, and a keyboardist, a manager, an executive producer, and an agent. And then there's going to be 69 groupies, right? And so
Okay.
all of these are all going to be whales that can have licensing roles within the group. So essentially, depending on the on the trait, on the golden ticket trait that you have, you can be eligible for one of those roles. So if you have like the main an attribute for the main trait to be one of the main members in the group, there's only going to be 9 of those, right? And there's going to be 3 members in the group. So if you're of one of those 9 and you rip the pack, you create a whale, and then we're going to figure out some process with the community to determine out of those 9 who get it. Now if you win that role, essentially your NFT is going to go through like a metamorphosis where it's going to like turn into this grail. You can almost think it turns into like a hologram Pokemon card. And now that card is like kind of has the seal of approval as being a member of the group and is essentially locked to your license agreement and essentially whatever rights that you have along with that license agreement, when you transfer the NFT, those rights are going to transfer to the next person, right? So
that's cool.
So whatever the kind of the future revenue or the renewals of this license that come on are going to be attached to this NFT.
Nice. That's pretty cool. And are you going to have like season between one year to another, or like so like people rotate in a bit? Like, is there a chance like for more people to be part of it?
Yeah, so we're definitely going to rotate some of the roles. We're not sure we're going to rotate the main roles yet. We're talking about it, and we're not 100% sure. We're definitely going to rotate some roles. We're not sure if it makes sense to rotate the 3 main members of the group or if that's like for life. Just because you think about it, like, you know, you can't replace the Beatles, right? The Beatles are the Beatles, but you can replace their manager or their agent or their drum player or maybe their drum player doesn't make sense in that reference, but you can have the supporting cast can change, but I think maybe the
Yeah.
stars of the group don't. But yes, that's how we're thinking about it.
No, that's cool. Or you can create like a Korean band when there's like 60 women on like the scene and they're all co-stars and stuff. And then the manager need to manage like all the ego of everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, man. But I think that's so. I think that's the idea. Is that's how the so for one, we're gonna have trait packs. You can win these trait packs. You can become a member of the group. And then secondly, once we start putting out singles, we're gonna do music NFTs for each one of the singles, which are gonna be like we'll probably do like some type of limited public mints, and then some of these are gonna be given like kind of based on your tier and status. Are going to be sort of gifted to the community. So I think that kind of the opportunities for new kind of collectible experiences are we're going to do our initial trait packs for the members of the group. B, we're going to do new trait packs each time a new single comes out. So for example, let's say that we have like, some artist that's like let's say we have DJ Khaled, which is like a featured artist on a song, right? We'll do a trait pack, and then within that trait pack, there'll be some DJ Khaled traits, and if you get the DJ Khaled traits, you can like essentially transform your whale into the Khaled whale, and then you could essentially on that particular song be a licensed participant, right? So each time we put out a new song, there's going to be new license opportunities, and also each time we put out a new song, we're going to be dropping new collectibles.
That's cool. I can't wait like to open a pack and another one. And another one.
Exactly, brother. Yo, if you go on my Twitter, you can see a little sneak peek of it.
Nice.
I made these. I don't know if we're actually going to use it, but I made the DJ Khaled the salmon suit that he wore. He got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Disclaimer: I don't know if we're even going to use this thing, and no promises that Khaled's on the album. But we're starting to make fun stuff just to be.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, like on the 10th, like you tweeted, like yes. That's cool. That's nice.
Yeah.
Man, that's dope. It's a nice trade.
That's
exciting. I mean, like if you can sign up like big name like that, that's gonna be like drive so much attention and like credibility to the project, like even for like the Web0, Web2 people, right? So could be like real big, man.
Yeah, a lot of what I've been thinking about is I've been thinking about like how does the funnel work for the Web2 and the Web0 people, right?
Yeah.
And I think that this is like, I've been listening to a lot of really smart people within the space that are doing, other people like Lucas and people that are doing kind of other interesting brain plays. And I think that like, I think really like the best way to think of it is like there's a funnel with like the music is at the top of the funnel, and being an owner of a whale is the bottom of the funnel, and then maybe even further down on the bottom of the funnel is being an owner of a whale that's like licensed their whale. So probably like
that's cool.
The very tip of the funnel is like you're in the group or you licensed your whale to like one of these. So you have essentially a grail. That's like where you're like it's the most expensive thing, but it's also the thing with the most value, right? Then right above that is you own a whale, right? And if you think about from the top of the funnel down, right? The first thing is just like someone listens to this song and like likes it, right? The next thing they do is they maybe like add the song to like one of their playlists and maybe follow the socials, right? The next thing after that is maybe they like, kind of start interacting and like seeing like, oh, wow, there's this whole gamified experience here. And then maybe they could buy like a really inexpensive collectible, right? Or maybe they even get a free collectible, right? Maybe they even get something for free that like gives them a little like sneak peek into this world, or maybe they just spend $10 on something, right? And then once they get into it, they're like, wow, I could get deeper into this. It's almost like when you download Pokemon Go and it's free, but then like to keep on, and you're like, this is fun, but to keep on going further, you got to buy more and more. And so, and then like, but then as you go, and I think the difference is in Web3 versus Pokemon, in Pokemon, again, you're just consuming, you're paying more and more just to play. I think the difference here is as you go deeper down the funnel, you might pay more to access the deeper level, but you're also going to like have access to more value, have access to more upside, have access to more experiences. So it's like you have this kind of sales funnel. It starts
That's cool.
with music that's getting billions of streams and ends with like, 5,000 whales. And then like from there, like 80 whales who have like license opportunities. And so, yeah, like you said, I mean, it's really about how do we create these user experiences so these people that just all they know is they love the whales music.
Yeah.
How do they become part of this experience? And how do we make the digital collectibles experience simple enough for them that they get onboarded, right? And that's really the heart
massive.
of like why we're doing this stuff,
Yeah, and that's definitely massive. And like, if you have like festivals and concerts that you want to go like IRL, how does that happen? Because it's a large part of the music industry too, right?
Yeah. How do we get on festivals?
Yeah, like yeah, exactly. Like having a presence, like IRL in like Ibiza, or I don't know. Like I don't know if the jump people are going to Ibiza, but like like the music tour. How do you go to a tour? Or do you want to do that in the metaverse?
So I want to do both, but I want to do real shows in real life, just like the Gorillaz, where you like go to Coachella and you see a big
exactly,
screen,
Coachella.
and you see cool. And the whales are playing, and there's maybe some supporting band and some featured artists that come out on the mic, but you're seeing like the whales on a massive screen, and that's maybe cool. It's even holograms, or maybe it's some kind of like 3D experience. So yeah, I mean, I think we have a lot of experience with that with touring groups. We're gonna make hit records. We're gonna get these guys like a power agent, and we're gonna start getting them booked on festivals and having them do shows, and also create like our own bespoke kind of whale live experiences. And then of course we're also gonna continue to observe as the metaverse expands.
Nice.
We created a Wagmi Beach whale space within Portals that we're gonna roll out pretty soon, and we're in conversations with like essentially like all of the different metaverses. None of it really is like real yet. There's like no real experiences that people care about in the metaverse yet, but I think that's going to change over the next 12 to 24 months. That's cool. And we're going to be all over it.
Yeah, man, that's exciting. Future's bright, man.
Future's bright, my brother. I'm excited. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's cool.
It feels like forever in Web3, but I think in the real world, I exactly how I feel. It's like we're just getting started, man.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, like it takes time, like to find, like like the product market fit. Like in Web2 startups, like it can take them like years to find it. Obviously, it's going fast. It have to go faster with the NFT in the NFT world, but like if you can prove that you're able like to again produce bangers and like sell million of like record, okay, not to records, but like have like thousand of like million of listening on Spotify, etc., and like bring people into festivals and shows and Coachella, etc. That would be a big win, man.
Yeah, I think it could be a huge win for the ecosystem in general.
100%.
And I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, like if your music is in like every RL events, like Web3 events, that's already massive, kind of. That's cool.
Yeah, and I think that like I think first we got to get normal people like into it, and then secondly, like how do we make great experiences that normal people care about? Like one project that I've been studying that I'm super impressed with is Stepn. Stepn created this app, and they have I think like 500,000 daily users. Most of them are not degens. It's like if you look at like the floor price right now of one of their Genesis shoes. Let me see what these things are going for. I think it's like, what is it?
I think it crashed a lot, no? Okay, I was expecting that. It's going like checking. Sorry. Checking the price on Magic Eden and then get disconnected. I was sure of it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my
God.
You look at them and they've
lost you again.
Can you hear me now? Back in action or no?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's OBS Ninja or not, but need to find some solution. Or maybe it's internet, so I can do anything about that. But yeah, I'll chat. Like, how do you like? Are you still bullish? Like, what's your feedback about everything that you hear until now? Talk to me. You mentioned Stepn, so you're like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think like Stepn crushed a lot, right? I don't know, the floor price is still like at the high price, but I'm not sure about it because like, yeah, it was hype for a couple of weeks, but then after that kind of run away, right? From the spotlights. So yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Nope. Yeah.
I can hear you, man. I don't know if you can hear me, but I don't have you on like the director stuff. I don't understand why your mic moved though. Yeah, that's well. But yeah, chat, like, yes, okay, you're back. Let's go. Oops. Okay, but sorry about that.
There
can
we go.
Hear me?
We good?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
We're good, bro.
Okay. Okay, cool. No, what I was saying is,
okay, your sound is like low now. Okay, give it a second, it will come back. I don't know if it's the internet or like the whole OBS Ninja bugging it like completely.
can you hear me?
Yes, okay, yeah, no, it's working. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm not sure, but all good. But what I was saying is interesting about them is like I think is they've sold like 600. What is it? They've sold like a ton of NFTs for a low floor price, right? And then their Genesis NFTs, even though the DGens don't talk about it much, I think are still trading for 150, 160 SOL, right? And I think what's interesting is they're outside of like the narrative of like SOL DGens, but they're out there like doing 500,000 in daily active users a day on like other people who actually think the game is interesting and are deriving value from the game. And I feel like that's like a really interesting model where like I could go buy a Stepn shoe for $20, but then if I want to move up the ranks to the Genesis shoe, that's going to cost me $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000, right?
Yeah.
And I think that like it's important, like as like we're starting to figure out how to onboard people into these experiences, that there's an entry level that everybody could afford, right? That's $5 or $10 or $20, and you could start to like have the light entrance into the ecosystem. And then from there, you could be like, okay, well, I really want to play this at the highest level. I really want to access the highest value. I really want to be part of this thing. And then that's where you like start to funnel down to being like, you know, to the elite level where you're actually buying a whale and you're actually kind of like participating at the highest level, you know?
But like, don't you think it's like easier like to convert like Web3 native to your project than bringing like Web2 people who like, I mean, if it's music, it's kind of different because like, again, like everyone understands music, right? Everyone knows Gorillaz and like the other group like that. So it's kind of okay. Like, I guess in your case, like it makes sense too, to get like to those level. And I mean, there is like what, like a couple of thousands of people still active on Solana, right? So if you compare that like to music record, like it's like there is not enough people for you to be successful in the music industry if you're just going after like Web3 people. Yeah, so it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think you need both. I think that you need to have those like what I call like, you know, the super users, the daily active people that are like that are really native. So I don't think that you could win by just attracting Web2 people. You have to like super serve the Web3 native community, because this is what you want, right? You want the Web2 people to come into the experience, and then for the natives to teach them, to show them the ropes. And I don't think it works without crushing it on both. I think you need your core community and the Web3 natives to believe in you and trust you, and then you need to also like have a mechanism to onboard new people. I think if you just win in one, it's like it's not sustainable long term. If you just win in Web3, you're dumping on your friends and you're continuing to circulate liquidity. If you just bring in the Web2 people, they just come in and the NFTs sit in the wallet and nobody knows what to do with them. I think you really need both to win. You know?
Yeah. You don't want a whale to dump on another whale, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know 100%. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, I think we are like above 1 hour. Like, so yeah, we can like start to slowly wrap the show. It was like a really great conversation. I really appreciate that. We need to do an episode 2, man. Like in your studio, so we can like have a nice setup and stuff. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, man. Everybody. I was telling Vincent that I'm literally sitting here amongst like all my studio setup, but I got to set it up. So literally, let's hop on part 2 because there's a bunch of stuff that we didn't get to yet. We could do the rest of these questions and and I want to ask you some questions about everything that's going on with Decod3rs. I'm pretty fascinated about that as well. So let's do another one, man.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Like, yeah, we can like reverse like the question, and we can like I can jump on like Catalina Whales podcast or something. 100%, that would be cool.
Yeah, man, I would love that, brother.
Yeah, like about content marketing strategy. Like, do you have like any like cool way like to work with like content creators, like to increase like the brand awareness of the whales, like in Web2 and even Web3?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a few things that we're working on right now. So one, we did a partnership with this AI company called Character. And we're essentially like they've kind of rigged up your whales so your whales can talk. So you basically go to this portal, you connect your wallet, you can see your whale, and then you can record your voice, and it spits out an animation of your whale talking. So you can essentially create your own whale animations and memes. And then cool. I think eventually I want to explore if you could even mint those videos, right? So that's one thing I'm thinking about. Two, which is kind of in line with what you're doing. Like there's a couple like members of the community that like have been huge supporters of the community that want to start kind of creating their own sort of podcast style content. And so we're going to support them doing that to start. And then what we want to do is we want to figure out like, how do we support and use our network to support members of the whale community that want to like start creating content and contributing to the NFT community in general. So that's the other thing that we're doing. But I think generally, like, I'm really into figuring out, like, how do we create, like, packages of, like, animations and memes, tools that you can make your own animation and memes, and then, like, basically, like, empower the community to, like, take the whales in any direction that they want to take them. So that's a big thing that I'm focusing on right now is, like, providing technology to the whales to allow them to make their own, like, kind of memes, animation, and content.
Yeah, 100%. I really think like that part of like content creation for project in Web3 is not like exploited like as it should be, like 100%, and that's the whole thesis of Decod3rs, right? Like developing more than like the influencer, like not being an influencer, but like really an ambassador of project. And like making like content on a weekly, monthly basis, like but on over the long term for like again dedicated project. And you can see like in the chat like there is like BAYC Radio, like he's like a content creator like for the OKB's project. Like he's doing more than just OKB's content, but like the whole branding of his channel is around like OKB, and that's exactly what we want to develop like along the way with Decod3rs, because it makes sense, right? Like again, you can have like a monthly podcast, weekly podcast, and it drive attention to your project on a like recurring basis, and that's what you want at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, totally. And I think that this podcast concept that we're developing right now, I think it's like exactly like you said. We're focusing on the whole like ecosystem. We're focusing on just kind of like the intersection of creativity and Web3, and a little bit of it's going to be what we're doing, but like nobody wants to hear us talking about ourselves all day.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's like we create a branded whale experience, and it's more it's like whales talking to other people. I also want to like for me, I want to like open up my relationships and my resources that I have in entertainment and in music and whatever to other people in the ecosystem. So it's like, I want to use what I can to showcase other people that are doing interesting things. And it's like the backdrop is the whales. The backdrop is the whale brand. But I think part of that whale brand is like, is helping others in the ecosystem and it not just being all about us. Because I think that's the vibe with the whales is like, we're about being positive, we're about being aspirational, we're about helping others, and like, so we want to start like creating through like the content that we're creating, and then also just through like what we're doing kind of like on a personal person to person and founder level, be a resource and do good to help make this ecosystem successful.
Yeah, no, 100%. And okay, so I forget to ask you a question about that, but like I really need to do. What about like the performance of like Eminem and Snoop Dogg's with their Bored Ape? Like, I think it was like the Grammy Award or something. But like, what do you think about that? Like, is that like like a cool way for people like to seeing like NFT in action, like, or like the execution was like not as it should have been good at?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's like a huge win for the apes, right?
Yeah.
The question is there like a more authentic, having like a huge promotional opportunity, like having a whale on the Grammys or having a whale at the Super Bowl is huge. But what I'd rather have is like, I'd rather turn the whales into Pokemon. I'd rather have the whales like create an experience that people really want to interact with, and create an entertainment experience that it's like they want to be part of the gamified experience. And I don't know if Eminem thing achieved that, but kudos to those dudes for leveraging their resources and getting that done, because that's fucking huge. And it's a huge W for like a brand that was created in Web3 to be on popular television like that. It's a W however you look at it. I think what's a more sustainable long-term W is to create gamified experiences and community incubated IP that people want to interact with every day, that people want to log into your app every day, that people are like, that people like make the Catalina Whales brand part of their everyday experience, or the Decod3rs brand part of their everyday experience. That's a bigger win than like just being on television. But I think that like, I think, all in all, it was a W. I can't say anything bad about it.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Like, yeah, maybe I was a bit harsh.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, it's a little bit cheesy. Sure, it's a little cheesy. Like, if I would rather, when I'm thinking about the group we want to create for the whales, I don't want it to be corny, right? I want it to be a group that's cool. So that was a little bit corny, but at the same time, shit, it was also pretty big. So,
That's true. That's true. That's for sure. Yeah, big win everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have like the last two questions for you. What's the question like you wish people would ask you but they never do?
Wow, that is such a good one. And I wasn't prepared. I was actually just looking at that question now, thinking, I didn't think about this one in advance. All right, I'm gonna have to like think.
Hello? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think that like, I think a lot of times that we find ourselves kind of in this world that we're in and doing the day-to-day grind, and I think that a lot of times we don't like ask like the why, like, why are you doing this? And I think that's I think that's a question that I wish people ask me, is like, why? What's the reason for doing this? You want to just like do this to like have a high floor price, or you want to do this to like prove that you can be like successful in NFTs, or what's the reason? And I think that like I think the reason is that like I feel like there's an opportunity to kind of really reimagine the relationship between people who love the arts and love like creative IP and the people that are creating it, and to like break down the barriers between that relationship. And I think that like maybe like it can be fun in certain capacities to be a consumer, but I think what's much more meaningful within our lives is to be a contributor, right? To be a part of something. right? Because it's like, yeah, it's cool to watch a movie that you love. It's cool to play a game. But what if you could be a part of the creation of that game? You could be a part of the creation of the music. What if you could you can monetize your fandom, and then you could also you can also like be a part of like the decision making. I think that's like really, really powerful. And I think that as we move on to like the next stage of the internet, I think as we kind of think about what is the new internet, I think the most important part is we're moving from consumption to contribution. We're moving to a world where we're all working together to make cool shit, and the coolest shit is going to rise to the top, right? And so if you ask kind of like, the question, why do we do this? It's like, I want to like prove to the world that you can do that with entertainment. Much in the same way that like, everybody said electric cars were bullshit until Elon Musk went and made the Tesla, and Tesla became the most valuable car company. And guess what? Every other car company started making Teslas, and that was his plan from the beginning. And so he achieved two goals from that. Like, one, like, he's selling everybody their batteries. But two, he's like, one, he's selling everybody their batteries, but also two, he felt that was important to like to reduce the carbon footprint, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that it's really important for us to develop case studies where we prove that these things could work. And so my why is, let's prove that this could make this work. Let's make a global brand. Let's make that global brand a huge fucking W for everybody who believed in this shit from the beginning. And guess what? If we do that, everybody's going to copy us. And and I think that's going to be good for creators. That's going to be good for the people. That's going to be good for Web3. And it's going to be good for Catalina whale holders. So that I think that's our why, and I don't get a chance to talk about that enough.
And that's cool. Yeah, we can talk about like we can do a why Catalina like episode 2 for sure. That's good. That could be fascinating, man. And like you said with Alan, like the dude like is basically creating a new industry by launching like first like PayPal and stuff, but then Tesla, and now he's going like sending us to space, right? So he did that 3 times. I wish you the same like success than him, man. Like by developing this like musical and entertainment like industry in Web3 for sure. Like because. Again, like if you are successful and if you reach like worldwide recognition, like you can be sure that in like 5 to 10 years you will have a kid that will be inspired by your success and will like start to make music and like draw some art in his garage or like bedroom, and then like developing like is independent record based on like in a XYZ metaverse, right? So that could be fascinating to see how all of that success unfold, right? For sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think we have exciting times ahead of us.
100%. Yeah, like the next 10 years in crypto will be fascinating for sure. That's why we're building Decod3rs. That's why you're building Catalina. That's just hype, right? It's up on
it's gonna be fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, no,
it's gonna be so fun.
Yeah. Okay. Like, and another question. This one is for me. Like, who should be the next guest on the show, and can you make the introduction?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what? I think since we're talking about entertainment and we're talking about the intersection of entertainment and gamified communities, obviously, like what the Clanos guys are doing right now is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think it would be awesome to talk with Nick, and I think it would be like that would be kind of an extension of the conversation that we're having here. I think that they're doing it in in this kind of like this animated animated television, like 3D animated television realm. But I think a lot of the concepts are the same with like, creating sort of gamified experiences and developing IP that people love outside of Web3 and using that as a hook to bring people into Web3. So if I think about like kind of people within our ecosystem, that there's a lot of alignment. I think about them, and I'm very happy for all of their recent success. So so maybe Nick and the Clano guys, and I'd be happy to do an intro.
Thanks, man. Like Alpha they should come to the channel like later this week. I'm just waiting for the confirmation date, but I have like Kaba cab animation that should come on the channel with Andrew probably. So yeah, you did good, man.
Okay, good. I guessed it.
Yeah.
I guessed it. Good.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any alpha, any announcement that you want to share with like the people who are in the live chat right now, or even to merge with the community? We are all listening.
Yeah. So one thing I didn't spend too much time talking about is like what we're doing with our ordinals drop. So we essentially inscribe 696 Nakamoto whales that will be were inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain forever. I'm super bullish on what's happening with ordinals and inscriptions. I think that like a lot of like the kind of like the ethos behind NFTs surrounding provenance and permanence, are really becoming real with ordinals. So I'm doing whatever I can to kind of support like the early innovators in this space. And we wanted to do a project in ordinals to memorialize the Catalina Whales brand in the space. So the alpha right now is if you own 5 whales, you're going to get a guaranteed Nakamoto whale. Also, if you have to own 5 whales and they have to be floated on our portal, which is our version of staking. Also, if you just have a floated whale, you'll have a very good chance of getting one. It's not guaranteed. You have to have 5 to get one guaranteed, 1 for every 5. But there's a very good chance that you'll get one if you just have a floated whale. So that's the alpha right now.
Nice.
Also, we have trait packs coming up. I mean, really the thing to do and what you're going to see over the coming weeks and months is if you just have your whales floated in our portal, you're just going to get cool shit. And so we're doing several partnerships with third-party companies and doing kind of new collectible integrations and bringing making collectibles available as rewards within our portal. We got the Nakamoto whales, we got trait packs. So really, like, that's the alpha, man. I guess this isn't brand new alpha, but for everybody who doesn't know about this stuff yet, it's buy your whales. If you already have your whales, make sure that they're floated within the portal, and just wait for the shit to drop, man. And if you want to get involved in what we're doing in music and entertainment in any way, my DMs are open, man. And like one thing that I think is really special about the whale community is we're a small, close-knit community and trying to help each other however we can. So it's like, I think like the alpha is really like, if you want to fucking be a whale, we invite you to get down, and I'm here personally to like kind of help you in figuring out whatever you're trying to do, whether that's contributing to what we're doing or whether that's just me kind of utilizing my own resources to try and kind of make some dreams come true. So that's all I got, man.
Let's go. Yeah, man. And by the way, like, yeah, thank you so much for being that accessible. Like, because like, yeah, we chit chat like quickly in DMs and everything. And like, you were like, again, like really accessible to someone who didn't interact with you a lot previously. So it's, yeah, thank you for that, man.
Yeah, of course, brother. And like I said, bro, I'm not even just gassing. I'm really fond of what you guys are doing with Decod3rs.
Thanks,
I think it's a great concept. And, yeah, I'm happy to help with anything, whether it's introductions or anything else that I can do as you guys continue to develop the brand.
Thank you so much. But like everyone in the chat and like every orders of Catalina, you can start by subscribing to the channel, because like for every sub that we have below 1,000, you will get free mint. So that's the alpha from my side. Subscribe now, and then even join the Discord, because then we can assign you the role of the subscribers. But yeah, that's basically, you can spread the word like Carlos about that if you want, like about this Freeman stuff. It's not official yet, but yeah.
Absolutely,
that's what
brother.
we're doing.
Whales, smash that subscribe button.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
But yeah, I guess that's it. We can wrap it up from here. Like again, Carlos, thank you so much for like giving me your time and like accepting the invitation and chit chatting with me in this hard condition and like technical issues. Thank you so much for your patience and thank you for being here and being yourself. That was a really nice conversation.
Yeah,
I hope you enjoyed your time.
Amazing, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I've had such a great time. Thank you, Vincent. I appreciate it, man. And have a great day. And if you ever need anything, give me a holler.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Thank you, everyone. Like that, pumping into like the chat and like you watch this video live. And even if you are just watching this video like after like the VOD, thank you too. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Again, 3 minutes, so that's free. Just take it. It's cool. Again, thank you, Carlo. And I will see you in the Catalina Discord because yeah, I'm gonna make that my home, man. I need to get that 5 whales, man. I want that Ordinals.
Come holler at us, baby. You'll be welcome, man. Come hang with us in the server. Okay, baby.
Thank you so much, man.
Talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, everyone. And
okay,
yeah,
brother.
we will
everyone.
see. Yeah, thank you so much, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.
Pow, pow, baby.